House of Records was started in 1971 by the owner, Gary Haller. He moved a few times in the early 70s and then came here to this building in 1973. When I came, we had, I don't know, 7 or 8 used CDs that were new agey kind of stuff in their very early stages of becoming a sales force. So we still had lots of records. But then by 1990, 4 years later, I mean, the store was completely changed, and there was mostly CDs, and the records were all scrunched into one room. And then, 15 years later, 2005, 2006, MP3s started to elbow CDs out of the way. And people started to think, now I'm going to have my music on MP3 codes. The thing is that they sound bad. On CDs, in order to get it to fit into the digital numbering system, you have to compress the sound. But for an MP3, it's much more compressed.
Right.
You're actually missing music when you listen to an MP3. There are some sound waves that are just compressed out of it, and you don't know. So I think what happened is that few kids heard some records. Maybe heard some records of MP3s that they owned, and they just said, "Wow, that's really different. That doesn't sound like my MP3 code." And then, you know, some of those kids, I think, started buying records because they were still around. Records never really went away. One analogy I really like to use is that a CD is like a photograph of you, and a record is like you in all your 3 dimensions with your, you know, skin and blood and bones. And, you know, playing a record is a ceremony. A CD you just throw on. In Eugene, you know, one of the interesting things about the record store, they were all different. All had a different personality and different product, and I think we live in a real corporate world. Corporations are alienating. You are faceless to them. Your money is what's important. Whereas in the House of Records, you don't feel like you're shopping in a business. You feel like you're sort of going over to somebody's house. And that's cool, you know, it makes people feel comfortable.